Hey everybody, good morning. Anybody excited about crypto yet? Oh, I couldn't even go to bed. It seemed like last night I couldn't. Like I was like, it's gonna hit 100,000. It's gonna hit 100,000. It's gonna hit 100,000. It's gonna hit 100,000. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yet, nope, not overnight. Not yet. So close. Hey Goose. Hey Don. Hey Bob. Hey Dan. Hey Rex. Arturo. Gayton. Donald. Rob. Merle. Ed. Brian. Mark. Ted. David. Roland, Frank, General Rush, good to see you, sir. Svinborn, Cliff, Ted. And thanks for those that came out yesterday. That's cold here today, so I got my sweatshirt on. I actually had another sweatshirt on over this one. Um, Thanks for those that came out to the third party event last night. I do appreciate all the support. And we just, I gave away the code for the market roadmap. So basically, it's like the video. If you click on the homepage, kind of like that, only a little more presentation-y and built for people that don't know who I am. And we went through all the Mag 7 stuff and a few other things. Just kind of threw out some expectations. If you missed it, well, you can go get the replay. They'll probably put me on YouTube, I imagine. The Timing Research YouTube channel. Anyway, wow. So, Nvidia earnings last night, just a big, okay, kind of, okay. Seems to have freed up the market to move a little bit. We're up like 30 points on the ES coming to the open here. And here's one I threw out on that presentation last night that I haven't really talked about anywhere else. One of those opportunities that maybe we go higher. This is kind of a disruptor in the insurance industry. Maybe. I'm thinking we need a pullback before I'm going to take an entry. It's one I found that has a nice upside potential here. You can see those numbers, a little bit crazy. A little bit crazy. So throwing that one out there as a potential, maybe put it down on your list. Something to check out later. I don't even have it like favorited or anything. I'm going to put it on the red list. So I'm going to look for a pullback and then look for an expansion. Hey, John, thanks for becoming a channel supporter. I do appreciate all the channel supporters. Can't do this without people like you. And all the other channel members. So thank you very much. And for all those that doubted my Bitcoin calls, guess what? Here we go. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, the proxy. What I've started calling the proxies. Things that aren't Bitcoin, but they sure are being traded like they are. There's kind of our target here on Bitcoin. So be careful. The upside might only be 81% more upside. Might be careful. So if you're in something like BitX, I saw this question in Discord. Hey, BitX, you know, I've been in since 27 and looking at 60s. Should I get out? Hey, what's your exit plan? What was your exit plan? All right. Here's targets 70, 80, 100. All right. Remember 80% upside left on Bitcoin. If this goes 160%, double that. 160, maybe. 150, 160, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? And Mora, yeah. SMLR, new proxy. That's another, yeah. But Mora also did $1 billion bond at 0% interest, essentially, to do the exact same thing as MSTR. Is Mora the sleeper? It's one of the only cryptos that's performing because they're doing MSTR. They haven't been doing it, but they just started. They've been carrying Bitcoin on the balance sheet, but they just started loading up, doing those convertible bonds, and buying it for the balance sheet. As David Skaggs there in the chat has been talking about the accounting for Bitcoin, accounting rules for Bitcoin and crypto changes January 1st. Now, cool and all, right? But here's the warning. Here's the warning. All right, I've been talking about how nutsy, crazy, cuckoo this whole thing is, right? I've been talking about what if we do the blow off top? What if we're on an accelerated climb schedule at this point? And what if we get up here to that 150, 170? Now, 150 has been the target for like 3 years. Ever since we topped over here, I had a good guess where the bottom was going to be. And when we set it in November 22, it was pretty firm at 150 as the minimum target. If we get that before the end of the year, possibly right into the new administration, we're setting up not only for a crypto winter, but a broader market flush out scenario. If the whole market starts going with it, yes, and Q, watch out. This could be pushing up. I was thinking Q1, Q2. This could push it up to the beginning of Q1 instead of being late Q1, Q2. So there's the warning, all right? Like, we've got to be Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. We got to keep track of where this is going. Don't put your head in the sand from now until end of Q1. Like, you should keep tabs on this thing, keep coming back, make sure you're subscribed. At least check in on my videos once a week. Like, at a minimum, set your reminder, something. I know not everybody can watch me every day and doesn't have that kind of time. That's cool. I do appreciate every moment you spend with me. It all helps. It all helps, whether you watch the ads, whether you be a channel member, whether you support me deeper with other things that I offer. I do appreciate everybody here. Couldn't do it without people like you, all right? I wouldn't be able to do this. This is what I do for a living. Like, it's not like I quit doing this and go do something else. Like, this is what I do all day long to support my family. So thank you all very much in all the ways you support me. All right. Well, let's do this thing before we get into trades. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I'm a trader. I'm a make predictions. They kind of come true. One of the people in the company yesterday was like, I don't think anybody makes macro predictions better than you do in our whole company. That's the publishing company. They have other gurus on staff, and, well, I tend to get the big ones right. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. So no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. I may never get another thing right again, and you may lose money. There's the substantial risk of loss when you trade. I'm not really talking investing. I'm more about trading. If you desire personal financial advice, somebody to tell you what to do, what to trade, what to invest in, you got to go hire and consult a financial advisor. Make sure you trust them, because most people out there just trying to make some of your money into some of their money and don't really care about you. That's the cold, hard truth. And that's not the right thing. Where did I must have closed it. I'll be dang. I closed the news tab. Wouldn't you know it? Let's see. Oh, no, wait. I know where it went. My computer rebooted yesterday, and here it is. I saw it pop on a different tab. I was like, what the fudge? There we go. So we are all the way into Thursday. Next Thursday, U.S. holiday. I'm going to take the day off next Thursday. I'll be with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday, take the day off. So just letting you know. And let's go back to this week's, not next week's. Next week we have crazy bit of news releases and stuff right into shutting down for Thanksgiving. But today, benign, not really much of anything. We get some existing home sales numbers. Those may be on a decline. We're forecasting 3.95 million. Based on what I'm seeing, that may come in light. People just don't want to move. Like, if you possibly can't move and take on a new high 7-8% interest rate, and you can keep your 3, 4, 5 that you locked in years ago, people are kind of trying to stay in those lower interest rates. So I think It's kind of like freezing up the market a little bit. We went from such low rates to such high rates in such a rapid succession that people just don't want to move. Now, tomorrow we are getting the flash PMI and consumer sentiment here after the market opens, so that'll be while I'm live. Nothing in the pre-market. Yeah, kind of freezes up to RIP BITCOIN, Bitcoin higher. Well, the market's not really doing much, so I'm kind of hyped up on Bitcoin. If you can't tell, I mean, I've put a lot of money into it. I've been waiting. Yeah, this is kind of like, it's kind of like, I was so excited last night looking for that 100,000 because I've been talking about it for, gosh, what, since for 2 years at least, almost every day. It feels like lots of doubters along the way, lots of people telling me I'm full of crap, and well, here we go. And it may not seem like a stretch. I mean, lots of people jumping on the bandwagon these days that it's happening. I mean, whatever. And you can bandwagon if you want. So, ES, where are we on the stuff that matters? That's not Bitcoin, not crypto. So here's the overnight, this is ES. If you've never seen ES before, this is S&P 500 futures. Why futures? Well, welcome to the channel. S&P 500 cash index stops trading. All right. This is the index, but it stops trading and we get gaps and we have missing data. We stop at 4 p.m. We start at 9:30 Eastern time. And what happens in between? I don't know. How do we keep track of it? Some people would say, JT, just load up SPY. SPY is a derivative. All right. I like to just load up the futures. Ah, look, complete data. So right now we have this low. That's the low at this point. Oh, hold on. Before that alert goes away, need to double check. That's a potential entry right there. If we cross that 618, I'll put another alert right there. Another potential entry for AEM. Target right up there. All right, switch back to what I was saying. I'm a trader. I'm looking for opportunities. So we had this move up off this low. And we topped out. And we did this 3-wave retrace that held pretty good. Pretty good level. Come on now. Why? I don't want pop-up buttons on the screen. Go away. So we came down and we did a bounce. And we moved up and we retraced again. So right there, we went a little deep, but we still held. We held the 76. I thought if we got below, when I talk about this, like yesterday morning, when I said, if we get below the 618, it might turn down. That means a sustained move. What's a sustained move? It means more than a candle or two. If we just get a candle or two, that's not a sustained move. Like if it spikes down and reverses, that's a spike reversal. All right. There's finer points to things I said. I say and said. So right here, that hammer thing, that's kind of a spike reversal situation. All right. Not a sustained move. And how many candles are below there? Not really many. We closed, made a spike reversal, and then launched out of there on the third candle. That's not sustained. All right. Sustained move above the roadmap line is like when we back test it and keep going. So if we had back tested and kept going, that's a sustained move. All right. Finer point. There were people messaging me, hey, you're wrong. It's not going down. It's finer points. All right. Now, the move up off this low. 1, 2, 3. Not what I want to see. 1, 2, 3. Not what I want to see. And one big rip. This. That's not constructively bullish price action at the moment. Not. And there's 1, 2, 3 in that little move. 1, 2, 3 in that little move. This looks suspect right here. This might be very careful. Even if this is an impulsive C wave looking thing, it very well might be either a W, X, Y, but it did have a 3-wave in here, or it could be an ABC. This went a little deep. Didn't make me have the warmest, fuzziest feelings here. I'm not convinced we're going higher yet. Not convinced. This may not be the reversal we're looking for yet. May still see some softness. Look where that puts us. Right where the alert is. It's the area to pay attention to. You know what else that line is right there? This high, this low. Look where the 618 is. Holy muffins. So this may extend right up in here. Find resistance and turn back down. Not convinced we're done yet. Now, for those of you that are new at this, you're like, how do you even see that stuff? I mean, look, just glance. That looks like 3-wave stuff right there. That looks like 3-wave stuff right there. Impulsive moves for a new trend going higher don't have this kind of structure. All right. You can let me know if you got questions. That's not the kind of stuff right there. Not the kind of stuff we're building strong upside off of. The fact we dipped to this level down in here kind of indicates that it's not being super bullish. And the fact that we didn't get a 5-wave off the low. Now, could it turn into something bullish? Sure. Are we going to have to get above here? Above here. Continuation. You betcha. This is not clear. It's what I would call not clear price action at the moment. So, ES not really telling us a story, except be careful. This is not clear. In Q. See if we have any better clarity. Why do I check all the different indexes? To try to find some clarity. One big move up, 3-wave down, 3-wave up, nasty overlappy thing. Golly, that was a big flat. So this had 1, 2, 3. 1, wow, 2, 3. That was very, very quick on the first move, and then we've just had one big move up. There is the low right there. We may be just in a correction here. It can do whatever it wants to do. I'm just trying to point out the highest probability. There may be resistance right there that turns us down. All right, I wouldn't be too surprised if we turned down and went lower low than this low we got back here on NQ and ES. Now, set your alerts and know when you're wrong. Like if we're not going to turn down, cool, we can go higher. Like we're short of the target up here. Target's still up here. Bigger picture. Daily chart. Still got targets up, way up high in the sky. Remove all these smaller lines. Our target's still up here. We're still looking Still looking for that. All right. Good luck out there, Chris. Nvidia popped a little bit higher high. Now we're turning red. Be careful. We need another. We haven't had a trip down to the roadmap line since over here in September. Kind of needs another one to go higher again. Be careful out there. The more weakness it shows, the more likely this is happening. And if we break down below that, watch out for a bigger flush on down. MSTR, rocking it. And getting a little pullback here at the open. All right, that $1,000 target's not feeling too far away. A few more days like this. Could be right up in there. Incredible. Incredible. Oil. Yeah. Yes, keep rocking a little bit. So S&P pulling back. It's like I said. May not be bullish. I guess ES is rolling about 10 minutes behind on my chart. So probably start flushing here in a second. CL, nice move up. We're just in the middle. As I've said, probably just doing this. I'll wrap up today with the bias and finer predictions on what I think the price action is doing. So stick around to the end and we'll get to the expectations there. Gold. Oh, baby. Keep going. We're about to confirm the move higher. Beautiful. Here's the high. There's the low. We came up just shy of hitting the roadmap line. Here's the 618 level. This resistance zone right there. Need to get through that to head on up to 2,900. For all the naysayers out there, the gold's done. Golly, I saw so many headlines that gold was done, not going any higher. Guess what? That's not holding the mustard. And Bitcoin, well, next resistance zone is right around 100 to 105. Next resistance zone, we may take another pause. May do a little pullback after we spike it. Before we can head on higher north. That was the time frame where I expected the run. Guess what we're doing? A little bit early. There's the run. Welcome to one of JT's epic predictions. Time frame is the hardest part about making the predictions. Getting the price levels, that seems like it's easy. And Ethereum, even though it's been looking weak, trying to catch up, it is not higher high yet. Not higher than this high, not higher than this high, not higher than this high, and not higher than the one from back in March. So it's not proven it's going higher yet. All right. It's catching up a little bit, but still the laggard. It may not perform. That's my caution right there. I'm just throwing it out there. We've talked about a lot of things. Clear as that. Now, Bitcoin stayed in that kind of pattern for a while, and then all of a sudden, busted through, back tested, and now we're launching off. Can Ethereum follow through and do this? We'll see. We'll see. The high back here on the last crypto spicy time, and the low down here on the last crypto winter. If we go for the extension, 6,000, 7,000. Like that would be the upside potential right in there. Now, if that does catch up and it does its own thing, this one may be one that catches up in a big way. Now, one of many predictions, as Don says. Yeah. So, dollar, look at that, coming up into the I thought when the dollar was, up, but the S&P was down. I don't know. We'll see. Correlation, not causation. This one just kind of doing its own thing. May top out here. May top out over here in that zone where I kind of thought we were going back before, and then we took a correction. Those are the kind of the resistance zones. Those are both lower than the high we had back here. I don't think we're going up that high again. There's those two resistance zones right in there. May spike it up in there and take a turn down here. And this could last a while. Like I've had that zone down there since back here in 2023. And we're still probably going to go down there. It's just a matter of time frame. This is taking a roundabouts, choppy sideways way to get there. And eventually it's probably going to flush down and get that lower low. NKD showing that global liquidity is a little soft this morning. And we're seeing the S&P 500 pull back a little bit. If this can turn around, start rallying, we'll probably see the U.S. market follow suit. Now, the U.S. market can decouple and just do whatever it wants to do. It doesn't have to, but this is a global liquidity indicator. If this goes higher, then this is probably going up in a big way. Now, this may be indicating that we get another spike down, and that takes the S&P down with it and kind of lines up with what I just said on ES and NQ, that we might see more flush. Pros and cons, right? You got to keep track of everything. It's like, wow, that's a lot to keep up with. That's okay. Just make sure you're subscribed and keep coming back and listening to what I have to say. That's what you come for, right? Because I keep track of all this stuff, so you don't have to. You just come listen. All right. So I go to the market, pre-market, pull everything moving $2 or more up, put it on a gainers list, $2 or more down, put it on the decliners list, and we go through that list and look for opportunities each day. If that sounds like your kind of thing, it's a trader's dream to try to find daily opportunities. We've been all over this since back here. For those of you that heeded my warnings, added some exposure here, great on you. If you added exposure here when I talked about it, awesome. How about here? Awesome. I added a couple hundred shares right there to the little bit I already had, and rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll. Now, where's a good target? 300 is a good place to get out. 400 is a good place to get out. 471, maybe it. If MSTR hits the $1,000 area. Now, it's not to say there won't be bumps and humps along the way. This will probably pull back. Probably do something crazy on the way up. You know what this reminds me of right now? The bubble pattern, all right? This is starting to be the bubble pattern. Very quickly, people are going to start talking about, I got to tell everybody to get involved in MSTR, MSTX, MSTU. Starting to see it on X. Haven't heard anybody that doesn't talk about the stock market talking about it yet. Just wait. When we start seeing that, we're getting near the end. This is, no doubt about it, this is starting to be the bubble pattern. All right? Not even joking a little bit here. For those of you who've been around since early this year, when I said this was the bubble pattern, and when we hit 1,200 or when we break above 1,000, you should buy $800 puts, and this was all before the split. As long as you possibly can. MSTR is going to come back down. MSTU is going to come back down. MSTX going to come back down, but probably from much higher levels. Be careful out there, please. Remember, the account you save, the account you protect, it's probably your own, all right? Nobody cares about your money more than you. Even me, I don't care about your money more than you do. Although there's lots of things I wouldn't even do if you gave me money to do it. I mean, these are insane numbers already. Already insane numbers, but they're going to get more crazy. Highly likely they get more crazy. Please, please, please be careful. Snow. Now that, me and my one share of snow, that's starting to look like a nice reversal. That's the kind of stuff I was kind of expecting after hitting 100. Let's go look at that baby. Now, if you need to know how to figure out the targets for these guys right here, these two tickers right here, these two leverage products, be careful on leverage. Gosh sakes, be careful on leverage. MSTR is the underlying. Figure out where you expect the target. JT expects 1,000. I mean, it could go to 1,300. Could go to 2,000. Bubbles are crazy. Have an exit plan. Stick to it. No FOMO. If you get out at 1,000, don't cry if it hits 2,000. Have an exit plan. Stick to it. No FOMO. Don't get back in because we're going on up. And then you get stuck in that. And you're like, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea. This is not the time to buy. If you didn't get in this, don't. Just don't. If you don't have time to watch it, you don't. Just don't, right? That's all I'm saying. No FOMO. Don't. Snow. Nice pop. Beautiful. All right, so this may have presented the opportunity right back here. This was the long-term target down here. And let's see what we got. That low, that high, that low. We may be topping out here and get a retrace. I was wanting to see it bust through the roadmap line. Back test, so we may get a retrace. If we don't, I'll have to find an entry later. I've got my one share I bought down here at 100, I think it was 110. And this could be the reversal I've been looking for. So right now, looking for that on snow. May never happen. Doesn't have to happen. We get a retrace back in there. I'll probably add more. It's kind of the stuff I was looking for. So far, that's just 3-wave up, though. Be careful. This has large upside potential, but that was the lowest low. Right there. Doesn't give us any upside targets here. This was the IPO over here. I said many times that IPOs start out corrective. That went down. A lot of people said, well, that was probably the low. We did this. Choppy overlapping garbage. For those who've been watching me for a long time, I said this is going lower low than this lower back here. And then we did it right there. I bought one share just to kind of prove it. I thought there was a little bit of downside potential, and still there's downside potential. Even with that, we need to backtest support and move higher to indicate that this is done and we're going up to these kind of numbers. That's the upside potential here, but not yet. You could buy aggressively now. This is like a 10, 15-year play. All right. $300 million for every dollar it moves. It's not a lot. Pretty free to move at this point. Still loses a ton of money. That's a big caution. Right there. Big caution. Price to sales number. See if I can find it. Income. Oh, there it is right there. PS. Price to sales, 22. That's still a little high. Anything over 20, it's a little high. A lot of high. So be careful on Snowflake. That's one I've been watching for a long time, for those who've been around. All right. Yeah, awesome, David. Up 25 grand. Yeah, I was up I was up stupid numbers before in the pre-market. I can't imagine what I'm up right now. Sit on my hands day. MDB. Potential for this to break on up higher. Measured bounce. Targets up here. Yeah, look at these. That's a 3Xer right there. potential to go from 300 to that kind of number. We're just getting through the roadmap line. Prove it. There's resistance here. Get above that. Go cruising up here. We're talking 26, 27, possibly. SMLR. Yeah. As Skaggs said earlier, new potential proxy for Bitcoin as they do the same thing that MSTR has been doing. But watch out. There may be some intermediate resistance right in this zone right here. FNGU. Top 627. App. That's looking played out. Watch for a retrace. Could go higher, but gosh, be careful. As they go exponential, it's not time to be buying. It's time to be booking profits and thinking about when it's going to come back down. Coinbase. Interesting. Not able to make further upside yet. Next target up is right up here around 427. Bigger picture target up here, 500 to 600. Sitting at 300 now. If you didn't get in this when it was cheaper, don't get in it now. Oh, Connell, leverage long on coin. If you can stomach the risk, wanted a little piece of coin, this might be the way to play with shares, not with options. That would be the target, and the stop would be right down here. And we may see a dip that goes down here before we go up here. So why not coin? I don't know. And you may wait for the dip. Like this looks like it may dip. We may get that dip. That would be an opportunity. If you did that, stop would be right here at 20. I would play shares. I would not play options. Options on leverage is like super dangerous. This is a 2x long leverage on coin, if you're unfamiliar. And if you don't know how leverage works and don't know how these 2x dailies work, just don't trade them. No FOMO. It's not the goal here. My goal is to not create FOMO. Just talking about some stuff. That's weird that ETH came up on here. That's going to be what it was. The mini trust did a split, so that's why it showed up. 1 for 10. That's a reverse split, right? Ugh. Nasty. Ugh. That's a mini Ethereum trust, though. So it's a little bit different than a company. Not the same in reverse split. GBTC, I'm sure all the Bitcoin stuff's on here. Rocking and rolling higher. AAOI, rocking and rolling higher. 43 targets. ETHE, another Ethereum thing. It's got a ways to go to break out. 39 potential upside. AVGO. Coming into the roadmap line. Need to hold that support. Otherwise, we could come down here. Came up shy of the 194 targets. Need to hold here. Turn back higher. Break through the 618 and get that confirmation of the target. GitLabs. Here's an interesting potential. Bigger picture. Boy, they keep adding more and more time frames on here. Bigger potential for GitLabs to rock and roll. That's a double. Not the hugest upside, but upside nonetheless. And that could take a while. Could take well out in the next year. iNod. Getting up to extensions. Be careful. I'm not sure. There's a lot of upside left here. Just not sure. Not sure. Maybe 57. One big move up. Probably needs a retrace. BX Blackstone. I heard they're buying Jersey Mike's. I really like Jersey Mike's, and Blackstone buying Jersey Mike's. Looks like they're set to rock and roll higher. Guess the bigger picture. They had potential back here to break down. Didn't break down below the roadmap line and didn't get the bigger flush. So now we've got this high, this low at that 183 resistance, 236 next upside resistance right up here for Blackstone. Mara. Let's go to a weekly chart or weekly chart. Heck, monthly chart. Check this out. I've said tons of stuff. All right. Here's what really comes into play. This low, this high, that right there. Potential, ridiculous numbers. I just expect triple digits. Don't even expect high triple digits. Just low triple digits. Nice extension. These numbers could take years longer to get to. Not suggesting we're getting there fast, right? This may be an initial move up. Get a retrace before we can do that. It's indicating that may be the place we're going. It may be longer than you want to stay in this. It may be in the next halving cycle, 2028. All right. ARM. Jump back down to the daily. Be careful here. Finding support of the roadmap line, but if we get below, this is probably eventually going to flush back down here. And it may make a higher high before we do it. That's support. Here's resistance. It's still resistance. It's been resistance. We're just stuck between support and resistance. Not a lot of opportunity right there for me. Oracle. Rocking and rolling higher. This is a catch-up AI play, from what I understand. I mean, I don't know. That's the narrative going around. This low, this high, this low. Kind of coming into 195 played out zone. Maybe go cruising up to 266, possibly. We could experience a pullback before we do it. Big picture, big time frame. Lots of big picture stuff happening here today. ETHA, and all that stuff may fail if we go through a bigger market flush out. There's another Ethereum Trust. SPXL. Flushing down. Sitting at resistance. If we can hold the breakouts, 198 would be the next upside. NVDA still hasn't made a higher high. Even with that pop today, higher high on Nvidia, still hasn't made a higher high. Watch for the flush. I'm just curious because I bought some calls on NVDA. Maybe. Got a lower low, but that might pop. My call is just at 30. I think it was maybe 31, somewhere right there. 30, 31. Put $1 on it. $100. Well, made that up with MSTX today. NTRA. That may come back down. That's looking played out. Going a little exponential. Another one of these retraces in order. Dell. Resistance. As long as we're at resistance, watch for a pullback. Stuff turning a little sour here. RBRK, rubric. Not enough candles to do anything. That's the lowest low. Doesn't really help me project anything so much. Move. Yeah, we're kind of playing out here. Potential to go a little higher at 57, but not my kind of thing. VST. Upside, maybe 189, 220. I would expect a retrace, though. LABU. This may flush on down. Watch out for that one. TTD. That's leverage and biotech. Two of the things that I just don't trade. TTD. Kind of setting up for that. Retrace the roadmap line. All right, decliners, stuff that was declining. PDD, breaking down below support. Kind of expected. China stuff went a little far, a little fast. Bama's back. Baidu's back. That one's going lower low. Probably going on down. Let's see. Yin back to the roadmap line. Yang just being gnarly. C-Web back to the roadmap line. For all those, I mean, everybody remember me saying it was coming back, right? Especially when we were up here. I said, well, that's coming back to the roadmap line. Hopefully everybody listened to me. Hopefully. PANW. That hit my target. I was in this from 300. Got out at 405. On that little spike right there. I don't expect anything else out of this right now. I expect that. See, it did it there, did it there, did it there, did it there. Almost missed. Now we're at the target from this whole big pullback over here. Next thing I expect, pullback. Am I trading it? Shoot, no. Just wait. Wait and see. Wait and see. That was a beautiful trade, though. I know several people got in and wrote it with me. I wrote it with shares. Got a split coming up here, 2 for 1. Those have not been the most bullish thing in the market lately. AGFY. Popping into the roadmap line. This is a reverse split. Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. Stay the fudge away from this. Don't even think about trading that one. Just don't. Just don't. Whew. That one's about to drop off a cliff. ASML. Probably coming back to the bottom. ETHD. Ultra short Ethereum. Yeah, that's getting whacked today. Cold. That one keeps coming down. NG must be cruising. Yep, look at that. Oh, 360, not far away. Another prediction brought to you by JT, about to come true, right there. Can't make this stuff up. Cura. That's a biotech. No thanks. MCD. Back to the roadmap line. Load roadmap line. Ah, look at that. Boom. Now we want to see this hold support. There's your opportunity here. If you're an aggressive buyer, you could buy aggressively here or do a credit spread here. This does not prove we're going higher until we get back above this high. Then that would be the conservative place to enter. Right there. Could you sell puts if you were interested in buying? Yeah, but you know, we do have risk of retracing this deeper down into here. You can sell puts. Maybe. Depends on if that's how you want to play. Nice upside potential, especially if it bounces. We could see this rock and roll higher right here. Opportunity. All I'm doing is pointing out opportunity. I doubt I'll take a trade on this. Opportunity for that upside, though. But it's not a trade for me till we're above that right there. We may go a little lower, too. We may push it a little lower. Just be careful. THC. Back to the roadmap line. That's indicating we may see a third move down. This high, this low. That may get a little flush on down in here. Baidu, probably going lower low, as I said a minute ago. FUTU, coming on down, probably back to the roadmap line, which should be right here. Come on, load. There it is, right in there. NVO. No bottom in sight right now. We may go down to the 80s. Put another target down here. EH. Yeah, the GLP-1 trade's done for now. Lily showing. There's the bubble. That's another bubble, right? Nvidia following the same playbook as Lily. Be careful out there. All right, I didn't have a bonus trade today, so I'll wrap this up with my expectations for today. If anything I said was helpful, beneficial, let me know. Oh, look at that. Turning red. Imagine that. Who said we might be topping out? All right, things to watch. God, it's like the market knew what I was gonna say. So here's your initial sign that this is the correct. Get below this. That's the confirmation. Here is the target zone right now. Well, let me redraw that. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. This is the target support zone, and it could extend it lower. That's the initial target zone to find a bottom somewhere in that zone, just lower low than that right there. That's now, could we reverse it, hold the uptrend of lows, and blast out of here? Sure. Entirely possible. Entirely possible. This is what I'm watching, though. If we get above that high, right there on SPX, probably going back up to retest that. If, big if we break down below these lows, probably making a lower low right down here. That's my expectation for what plays out today, maybe in tomorrow, maybe in the Monday, right there. Be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. Be careful, be careful. Don't get too optimistic out there. Bitcoin, I can't wait to see 100,000. We may pop it to 170, and that may be it. All right. Don't stay at the party too long. Don't overstay your welcome. If we get up here, start booking profits, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, anything above 100, start looking for profit booking. Nothing's guaranteed. That's where I expect us to go. 150, 170. We don't have to. We don't have to. Right there. Every halving in the past, we have hit this number, this 1618 level. It'd be a shame not to hit this one. But that's only 3. That's not a statistic like population. It's not like something you can rely on, so be careful. There are $5 billion of shorts sitting at 100,000. So if we push through that, short liquidations are going to start happening, and this may go exponential in a very fast manner. That's why I'm suggesting you have an exit plan and alerts in place. This could go fast. There's a lot of shorting happening on Bitcoin right now. That's why we're struggling to break through 100,000. People doubling down. Know when you're wrong. If those shorts start getting liquidated, be careful. Have a great day out there, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell with the notifications. Make sure that you set an alert in your phone. And I'll see you tomorrow.